Hi, so I'm with Chris Felden.
Fenton.
What's Fenton? With Chris Fenton. What's the big news about your fight world? What's been happening?
Well, a few weeks ago, I became the British light heavyweight ISK champion. At the moment, I'm trying to become European champion. So I'll fight one of the champions from a European country. That's what I'm trying to negotiate towards. That's the next goal.
Are you going to do it?
Definitely, yeah. So I think the standard in the UK is higher than most other European countries, so I've got a good chance of becoming European champion.
How long did it take you to win the last fight?
8 minutes, I think, in total of fighting.
What was your opponent like? What was the fight like?
It's very strong, very athletic, but not as technical as me. So, I like to think sometimes he's a fighter and I'm a martial artist. I think that would be my
What's the difference?
So a fighter only trains to fight. A martial artist, as a broad definition, would train all the time. And a martial artist would look a little bit more into the kind of philosophy of it.
Right. Ooh, right. So you follow the philosophy of it?
To some degree, yeah.
Which is what?
It crossed over with Buddhism quite a lot. It's the kind of a warrior chooses to be a pacifist and everyone else is condemned to it.
Wonderful. Say a bit more about that.
I try to regularly meditate, and I think having an outlet where I get to kind of unleash the slightly more analytic side of myself means that in my normal life, when driving or playing with the kids or anything else, I can just be the nice peaceful side of me.
You've got a question from New York. What are you a champion of again?
The Battle Arena is the UK. It's a mixed martial arts promotion, and I'm their current British light heavyweight champion. It's cage fighting for the more broad definition.
And you've got another question from America. You look more like my gay lover.
I've had that before. I look like many people's gay lover. I'm not a tough-looking person. I accept this.
Okay, so he says, "Oh, you're a fighter, right?" I think they like the sound of that. So, what do you think about fighting on the issue of climate change? Is that something that's in the news here at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's the problem is that the news gives equal time, just trying to have balance to the deniers, and so we get this kind of distorted view where we think there's a kind of 50-50 split, and there isn't. The deniers are not even real scientists. It seems to be when you look into their credentials. So I think it's a fight, and the internet is the revolution that's kind of communicating this to the world that it's happening. We need to do something about it.
So what are you doing with the internet these days?
So
if someone just says, "I love science."
The internet allows me to, I think, more YouTube and so on. You get to see a bit more niche. So my passions are martial arts, so I get to see very specific instructions, and the martial arts has evolved more in the last 20 years than the previous thousands because of this transfer of information. I can watch the best guy in the world right now. I can type on YouTube and watch and study him, which you wouldn't have been able to do in the past. So it's a very powerful tool for developing.
What do you want to be doing when you're 50?
Not getting hit in the face. I would like to be maybe helping some up-and-coming other fighters. I have this very bizarre dream. I'm a little bit dyslexic, but I'd like to write a book at some point. It's a slightly odd one, but just as a personal challenge to myself. And I'd like to be getting some nice robot joints fitted because mine are pretty erect. But we'll see.
So do you think you have been damaged by all your fighting? How many times have you been hit, do you reckon?
I did do some maths the other day based on how many times a round. So it's about 20,000, something like that. But the way I fight is very tactical, and I try not to get involved in a brawl where you're kind of taking it in turns to see who's got the strongest head. So I'm always trying to find a way to win without taking damage. I think the goal of fighting or martial arts is to win and take the least damage at the same time.
There's a lot of violence in the world these days, increasingly. Do you feel safer in the street, or what do you feel about the violence that's just out there?
Well, I read a book recently. I can't remember what it's called, and it was basically an explanation that the media reports like a stabbing because it's rare. So we live in the Western countries. We live in the safest time in human history. But I just think sometimes society is good if you have an outlet for, especially male aggression, or like doing boxing or martial arts and some of the things we used to have in school. In Japanese society, they all do judo and combat sports in school, and I think it's nice if you have some people have the animalistic side of them, and I definitely do, and it's nice to have an outlet for that, and it means that the normal society can be a bit more peaceful.
We just had a comment on here, America is safe, and of course they think if they had more guns, or some of them do, they'd be even safer. What do you think of that? Or do you think martial arts would help?
Oh, martial arts will not help if you got a gun, but it doesn't matter how fast you are. I think the obsession in America with guns, it's very cultural, and it's hard to. I'm a bit on the fence about it. I think people should be allowed to hunt if you choose to, and part of the reason I train is that I like the idea that I can protect my family. But if you look at the statistics, most guns are used to suicides or accidentally shooting your own family members. Let's look at the facts of it, and why don't the Americans make it a lot harder to get guns? So you don't completely ban it, but who needs giant assault rifles or machine guns? Why can't we limit it? Like in the UK, if you're desperate to get a shotgun, you can join a club and get a shotgun. There's a shooting club in China, I think, very nearby. So why don't they have those barriers you have to jump through just to put people off?
So finally, what's your wish for the world as we're coming into these climate talks?
My wish for the world, happier, peaceful place. It sounds like a Miss World answer. I want world peace. But I think my wish for the world is that the internet keeps growing, and that communication platform means that we can all. It makes the world seem like a smaller place. So instead of being us and them, we're all kind of the same.
Thank you very much. This is Anuradha Vitachi, Peter Armstrong, One Climate, signing off.
Thank you. Is that very eloquent?
That's very good.